Ubuntu, melanated souls, Ubuntu. Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked, when did I stop choosing me? While the world debates who has the power in the boardroom through the ballot box, let me ask you this. Who has power in your life right now? If you're one of the women who is tired of thinking life is happening to you and not through you, this one's for you. Because this one is about power, your birthright, the power that you have in you right now. So let's get into it. But first, shared language. What is power? Well, the dictionary defines power as the ability to act or produce an effect. And for us dear melanated souls, connotatively, power is the divine birthright of those who have weathered storms and still rise shining. It's the unshakable knowing that even when systems fail you, doors close in your face, you possess the creativity, the courage, and the calling to build your own table, your own feast. It's Harriet's whisper on the wind, Malcolm's fire in your chest, and Maya's wisdom in your bones. Power, for the melanated soul, is the unapologetic act of becoming, choosing joy, commanding abundance, and walking boldly in the fullest, and walking boldly in the fullness, and walking boldly in the fullness of your. And behind it all, power is energy, pure and simple. Power is not some exclusive privilege. It's not reserved for the rich, the connected, the loudest in the room. Power is innate in every living being. That means you were born with it. That power, it's beautiful. It's divine. It's yours. 2 Timothy 1:17 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." That sounds like mindset to me. What we feel, think, and do. Power isn't future tense. It's already within you. But I want to be clear. This is not about having power. It's about how you choose to use power. Because power, as we know, can be weaponized and can harm. But power can also heal. It can tear down and it can build up. There will be moments where you feel powerless, moments when you swear the universe put you on mute, times when you feel trapped, stuck, like you're at the mercy of forces you can't control. And then someone has the nerve to say, "You're giving away your power." Let's just be real. That hits wrong when you're in the thick of it. It feels like an invalidation, right? Like they're ignoring the very struggles you face. Because you don't hand over your power consciously. No one does that. But here's the key. Reclaiming your power isn't about getting it back from anyone. It's about realizing you never lost it. So let's get into that. Here's how to realize and fully embody your personal power. First, free will is your birthright. Nobody can take that from you because nobody gave it to you. So even when choices feel limited, understand this. No one can take your free will. Harriet understood this when she crossed that line from bondage to freedom. She said, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves." That's what unclaimed power looks like. Now, people may stereotype you. They may tell you you fit the description. They may tell you that you're not wanted, you're too loud, you're too uneducated, you're too whatever. They will apply pressure and every tactic, every piece of legislation they have to make you fold. They may stack the deck against you, but only you can play your hand. I know this firsthand because I've lived through the kind of trauma people write books about. And some of us are actually living out these headlines that others pray they survive. Now, get all the way into reality and get there fast. Power lives in truth. As long as you are resisting reality, you're stuck. You got to know your starting point. You got to be candid and open with yourself about what is true today, not to root yourself in it, not to glue yourself to the present, but to know where you are. Because as long as you're resisting reality, that's when you're stuck. Facing reality doesn't make you stuck. Resisting it does. If you listen to my story and if I said, nope, HOA liens are not even real. That can't happen to me. I've paid my mortgage every month for the last 5 years. That's resisting reality. That's when I would have been stuck. But facing reality and saying, this has happened to me, what do I need to do to move forward, is reclaiming power. Think about the last economic collapse or even the housing market today. People stuck in denial lost everything, while those who adjusted fast, who pivoted it, who figured out where am I going to get this $12,038 from, turned crisis into opportunity. Remember when Oprah said, turn your wounds into wisdom? That's what facing reality looks like in practice. If you have an emotional or physical wound and you ignore it, you can't treat it. And then it gets infected, or then it burrows down deeper into your subconscious. So stop fighting what is. Surrender to the truth, not defeat. From that place, you make decisions that bring you back to power. Next, focus on what you can do, not what you can't. Stop arguing for your own limitations. Stop telling yourself what you can't do, what you aren't, what you don't have. Stop being the best advocate for the least best part of yourself. You need to focus on your strengths, your transferable skills. Right now, make an inventory of all the headlines you've come through, of all the skills you acquired, of all the times you said, I have to make it. There's no faking it. I got to make it. Make that inventory, that list of your strengths, because you're going to need to draw on them in times where you need to figure out what to do. I remember when I read Beloved by Toni Morrison, and Safi couldn't move forward because she was staring at a closed door. A closed door represented her past. But freedom was waiting when she turned around. Stop waiting, start moving. Stop casting your pearls before swine. That means stop giving the best in places that don't recognize the value of you. And mostly stop doing that to yourself. This is your life, your energy, your power. Be true to you. Don't spend another second living out someone else's script. Your name wasn't written in the book of life so you could play small. Live in powerful authenticity. It's not a buzzword. It's a blueprint for joy. Because in the authentic you is the strongest power. Every time you try to be someone else, live out someone else's dream, live out someone else's identity, you dilute your power. Because remember what power means. And you are going to need who you truly are to bring about an effect. So stay true to what lights you up, because that's where your power is amplified. I have a different video where I talk about the fact that wealth is a reflection. It's not a result. The same thing with health, the same thing with love. It's a reflection. It's not a result. I don't think that's going to shake you to know that everything outside of you is a reflection of what's happening inside of you. If you are seeing chaos, conflict, constant battles, ask yourself, what battle is raging within me? Remember James Baldwin's words, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. When you heal the internal war, the external world responds. That's not theory, that's law. You want a sense of safety? You want a sense of certainty? Put yourself back in your own hands. That's why you have to be authentic, because that's the safest place for you to go. When you are in the still, quiet moments, that's you talking to you. And if you are living a world outside of that, outside of you, then that still, quiet voice will not have the same impact. And so visualize this. You're in a deep pool. And instead of swimming, you keep climbing, climbing onto others to stay afloat, hoping that they'll carry you. That's one of the biggest ways to give away your power, waiting for someone else to save you, waiting for someone else to validate you, to love you into wholeness. The video that I created said you can't live someone else's dream and you can't want it more for someone than they want it for themselves. But guess what? The same is true for you. No one's going to want it more for you than you have to want it for yourself. No one can be rich enough to make you rich. No one can be happy enough to make you happy. You have to build your own dreams and you have to put yourself in your own hands. I guarantee you, it's the safest, most joyous, most impactful place to be. Your abundance isn't tied to your job, isn't tied to your boss. Your healing isn't tied to your doctor. Your joy isn't tied to your partner. It's you. It's always been you. And that should be the most liberating concept you can internalize. So ask yourself, where am I waiting for someone to change me? Where am I waiting for someone to choose me, to fix me, to save me? And how can I take my power back today? So I started this video with shared language. Because if you know about the Tower of Babel, you know shared language is crucial to progress. So I want you to change your language so you can change your life. Because even if it's the words you say in your head, you have to be in agreement, in alignment with how you're using the language. Because words hold power, because words have energy. Speak life over yourself. Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So stop saying I can't. Going back to being strengths-based, going back to stop arguing for your limitations and say, I choose not to. Or you can say, there was so much pressure on me, I decided to go left. Or because I didn't know how to set boundaries, I'm choosing to stay in this relationship that doesn't serve me. Stop saying they made me. I mean, maybe you want to say they pressured me and so I chose, but you want to always put yourself in the active space of your own life. Now, these sound like small shifts, but they aren't because they rewire your thinking. And when we're talking about mindset, we're talking about creating alignment in what we think, feel, and do. And so you got to start rewiring your thinking and so that you can recalibrate your doing and your feeling. And when you can do that, you will amplify your power. Because when you're in alignment, you're in better energy. I don't care if that's biological, spiritual, or cognitive. When your bones, when your structure aligns, you have more power. When your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors align, you have more power. So start with changing your language and then build your confidence muscles. It's all just muscle memory. It's all just what you have chosen to put into a pattern, into default, into a repeat. And this is where I say all the time, discipline is not a 4-letter word. Discipline is about building that muscle. Again, whether it's biologically, emotionally, or cognitively. The more you lift the weight, the stronger the muscle. The more you read, the more fluent the language. The more you attend to self-care, the more powerful, loving, and generous you can be. So you were not created to be average. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Love to tell you. You weren't created to be average. You are a melanated soul. Maya Angelou said it best. If you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you are. I too struggle with embodying the fact that I am extraordinary, that I am amazing. Doesn't mean that you aren't amazing because I am amazing. That's a scarcity mindset. That's thinking that there's only so much amazing to go around. But there's enough amazing for each of us to be amazing, for each of us to acknowledge it, to embody it, to move from that position. And I would assert that people are better off if you know you are amazing, if you think, feel, and do from an amazing perspective. So again, I'm going to encourage you to make a list right now of everything you have accomplished, everything you're confident in. Don't downplay it. Don't dismiss it. Don't downplay it. Don't dismiss it. Celebrate it. from the tiny to the largest, from something that no one knows you can do, curl your tongue, to something that is on display for the world. Write it down, make a list, and know this: confidence isn't a gift. It's a muscle, and you can build it. It's built up one rep, one list, one affirmation at a time. I am confident. Start there. And I want you to step into victory. People have wronged you. It's tough, but let's talk about it. Let's be true. People have wronged you. They've hurt you. They've betrayed you, disappointed you, let you down, right? Disappointment is unmet expectations. And we've all been there. You didn't deserve it. You aren't accountable for it. But holding on to that pain, you've heard it. It's like drinking poison and waiting for them to suffer. And while you may not have caused it, you are responsible for unsticking yourself. And when I say responsible, I mean being able to respond appropriately to the situation. Because responsibility isn't about blame. It's about power. Remember the definition: being able to produce a state or effect. And so when you are able to respond appropriately to being disappointed or betrayed or wronged, that means you look at it, right? Maybe you take the L, not the L for loss, but the L for lesson. And you integrate it into what you know you can survive, what you know that you can do with some confidence and grace. And you put that in your strengths-based toolbox. You take ownership of what you can do now, today, so that the next chapter looks different. Because when you don't, when you're giving people your blueprint, when you're turning over your book and you're letting their actions write the next 5, 10 chapters, you're giving them your power. Now, I also want you to follow the North Star of your desires. Desire is holy. Desire is powerful. Your job is to honor desire, not shy away from it, not deflect it, not diminish it, but to be bold enough to want what you want and be brave enough to go after it. That's how you become the driver of your life and not a passenger in someone else's. Langston Hughes said, "Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." My dear melanated souls, you are powerful beyond measure. Not because life handed you ease, but because you chose to rise anyway. Because epigenetically, what is sitting on your DNA, what is sitting in your genes, is generations and generations of people who chose to rise anyway. No one can take that from you. You were built for more, and you know it. You know that's true. You know when you are sitting in the shallow end that all you have to do is stand up while everybody else around you is floundering, trying to figure out how to make this work, how to survive, how to stay afloat, how to stay above water. You know, all I had to do is stand up. Act like it. Know it. Take it. It's yours. It's your birthright. Let the world feel your brilliance. I am brilliant. Walk in your radiance. I am radiant. I feel radiant. I think radiance. I do what radiant people do. And remember, every time you choose your power, you win. So let's end with a soul formation. Ubuntu melanated souls, Ubuntu. I hail from people who turn cotton fields into I hail from people who turn cotton fields into cathedrals of hope, who sang freedom songs under their breath while their hands were bound, and who created a nation. I am powerful. I am capable. I am credible. I am powerful. I am action. I am energy. I am authentically me. I am powerful. Unapologetically, undeniably, and joyfully so. I love being powerful, and I use my power with grace and purpose. I use my power to uplift myself, bless my family, transform my community, and leave an imprint on the world so deep the universe will echo my name. I am powerful, and the universe would not be the same without me. Ashe.